Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about ActiveMQ and its integration in a Spring Boot application. So before going to discuss about the ActiveMQ, let me try to tell you what is ActiveMQ is. So ActiveMQ is nothing but it is a tool that helps us in transferring the message between the producer and the consumer, between two applications. So it is nothing but it is a message transferring tool. If you are new to this technology, message transferring technology, let me try to tell you that there are so many tools available in the market for message transferring like Kafka and RabbitMQ, and the others are also there. I already have videos on my channel related to the Kafka and its integration in Spring Boot, and the same for the RabbitMQ and its integration in Spring Boot. In this video, we are going to discuss about the ActiveMQ. So in this video, we are going to only see the this theory part of this ActiveMQ. And in the upcoming videos, we'll try to see how we can develop our Spring Boot application and how we can use the ActiveMQ and how we can create the producer and consumer and use this ActiveMQ to transfer the message between the producer and consumer. So in the upcoming video, we are going to see those things. In this video, we are only going to see the theory part of the ActiveMQ. That means what is ActiveMQ, why one should use ActiveMQ, and how we can use it out. So everything we are going to discuss in detail in this video. So let's get started, and let me try to go to the next slide to discuss about the ActiveMQ. So first of all, what is ActiveMQ? It is an open source multi-protocol Java-based message broker software developed by the Apache. It provides high availability, performance, scalability, and security for sending message between the application. So let's say you develop two applications, one is producer and another is a consumer, and you want to send the messages between them. So the producer will try to send the message from their side and consumer will try to consume that message that producer sends asynchronously. So this is what ActiveMQ will help us in doing. Okay, so ActiveMQ supports a variety of messaging protocols like JMS, which is Java Message Service, and AMQP, MQTT, and STOMP. Okay. So these are the variety of protocols that ActiveMQ supports, and this is about the ActiveMQ, what it is. Coming to the next slide, I have listed down the features of ActiveMQ. Why one should use ActiveMQ? Okay. So the first thing is decoupling component. It helps decouple producer and consumers, allowing them to operate independently and asynchronously. Okay. So it promotes the asynchronous communication, and it allows the decoupling between the producer and consumer. So the producer independently can produce the messages and consumer don't have to wait on this, and independently the consumer can also consume the messages. Okay, so it promotes the decoupling. The second feature is scalability. It supports the horizontal scaling by allowing multiple brokers to work together in a network of brokers. Okay. Now the next point is reliability. It provides features like message persistence, transaction, and message acknowledgement to ensure reliable delivery of the messages. The next point is flexibility. It supports multiple protocols and integration options, making it versatile for different architecture and the platform. Now the next feature is high availability. It supports clustering and failover to ensure the continuous availability of the messaging system. So if some thing is failing inside the ActiveMQ, it automatically tries to have a failover to ensure the continuous availability of the messaging system. The next point is ease of use. It provides comprehensive documentation and intuitive web-based management console and easy to use APIs. So these are the features that one should consider when he is going to use the ActiveMQ. Now coming to the next slide, here we have listed down how to use the ActiveMQ. So the first step is installation of the ActiveMQ on your machine. So there is a two-way how you can install the ActiveMQ on your machine. The one is standalone installation. So how you can do the standalone installation, you have to go to this Apache ActiveMQ website, and there you will find the steps to install the standalone ActiveMQ. Okay, so the first of all you have to download the ActiveMQ files and then try to install it out. We are not going to do a standalone installation here. We are going to do the Docker installation. So we have the Docker desktop. So there we'll try to pull the Docker image of the ActiveMQ, and then we'll try to create the Docker container for that image and try to make that Docker image up on that container, and we'll try to access those things. So we are going to use the Docker desktop to install the ActiveMQ. We are not going to do the installation here in this video. In the next video, we are going to see how we can install it out on the Docker. Now coming to the next slide, how we can do the configuration of the ActiveMQ in our Spring Boot application. So if you are doing a standalone installation, you have to tweak out this ActiveMQ.xml configuration. If you are not doing that, if you are installing the Docker image of ActiveMQ, then you have to do some settings in the application.properties files. I will try to tell you how you can do those things when we are going to do the development. Coming to the development, we are going to use JMS to send and receive the messages. For monitoring purpose, what you can do is once you install the ActiveMQ on your Docker machine, you can make your ActiveMQ up on the port number 8161, and then you can go to this admin URL, and then there you will have to enter out the username and password, and then you will see the dashboard of the ActiveMQ, and you can monitor out this queues, topics, connection, and the subscriber. Everything is there. I will try to show you when we are doing the installation. So for monitoring purposes, you can use this URL and go there and try to have a monitoring. For advanced monitoring, what you can do is you can use JMX. Now coming to the next slide, here I have listed down the steps that one should follow when he is integrating the ActiveMQ in Spring Boot. So the first thing is you have to create a Spring Boot application. There you have to include this starter dependency of ActiveMQ. Then you have to do the necessary configuration of the ActiveMQ in your application.properties file. And then you have to create the producer and consumer. Producer will try to produce some messages on a topic, and the consumer will try to consume the same messages from the same topic. Then you will run your application and try to test your endpoint. So this is the steps you have to do. Now coming to the summary, ActiveMQ is a powerful message broker that facilitates communication between distributed applications. Its rich feature set supports for multiple protocols and ease of integration make it a popular choice for enterprise messages solution. Okay, by decoupling producer and consumer, ActiveMQ improves scalability, reliability, and maintainability of the application. So this is in short what ActiveMQ is, why one should use it out, and how one can use it. So in the next video, we are going to discuss about how we can install the ActiveMQ on the Docker machine, and then after that we'll try to see how we can develop our Spring Boot application, how we can develop our producer and consumer, and how we can use out ActiveMQ to transfer the message between producer and consumer. So this is about the video, guys. If you like the video, hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.